Well, CNN Global Affairs analyst Kim Dozier is with us. Cedric Leighton also with us, retired US Air Force colonel and CNN military analyst. You heard Daniel Hagari there, the IDF spokesman, urging Israelis to follow instructions to stay safe, describing the country in a state of peak alert. He said that the IDF is prepared to attack Iran if it launches a missile towards Israel. It will have consequences. We have plans and abilities, he said. So let's start with what we understand here, that the US has learned of an imminent attack by Iran on Israel. Similar, we are told, to the attack, the response back in April, which was some more than 300 missiles targeted at Israel, albeit intercepted at the time. Cedric, with your military brain, let's just get your thoughts on what we are breaking as news here.
Yeah, Becky, well, one of the key things about this is what we call in the intelligence business an indications and warning problem. So what that really means is the ability for the U.S. and Israel to determine what the Iranians might be doing. So what we've seen now is launch preparations, it looks like, based on what the White House statements are. So with those launch preparations, then the calculations can be made. Will the Iranians do this? It seems like they are getting ready to do this. How long will it take for the missiles and rockets to come into Israel? And from where would they come? And that then will set things in motion so that the defensive mechanisms that we know colloquially as the Iron Dome, but which really include three different systems that the Israelis have, that those three systems, the Iron Dome, David Sling, and the Arrow system, that they're ready to go. And those systems are then augmented by U.S. and other assets in the region. So the hope on the U.S. and Israeli side is that all these systems will work basically like they did in April, that they would actually thwart, for all intents and purposes, the major attacks that Iran is planning. So whether this is a symbolic effort by the Iranians or an actual military effort by the Iranians, we have to consider it as if it's a military effort, that they're actually going to strike at targets in Israel, and that's why it would have to be considered in that way.
And we've been discussing that the attack in April was much telegraphed, and many suggest it was not designed to actually hugely threaten Israel at that point. So clearly, if it were similar this time, perhaps there is a message in that. But certainly, as you say, this is a concern. I want to bring you in, Kim, at this point. There has been much debate about the US effectively not having, as a superpower and as a country that can make a difference in the Middle East, not having its hand on the tiller at this point, with a lamed up Biden administration, which appears to be at sixes and sevens and quite confused even internally about what Israel is up to and when. What's your assessment of the White House's involvement and response, albeit it seems reactively at this point, to what is going on in this region?
Well, just to take this week, we've got a mixed reaction from the Biden administration, in that you heard from President Biden in the past 24 hours saying that a ceasefire with Hezbollah was the preferred option, not this continuing ground incursion by Israel into the Lebanese border area. But earlier this week, you had a readout of a phone call between the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, and Israel's defense minister, in which Austin said he understood Israel's need for this operation to take apart the infrastructure that is being used by Hezbollah to attack. And that includes hundreds of miles of tunnels in this border area, in which Israel believes that there are some 100,000 of the 150,000 missiles and rockets remaining that it hasn't been able to destroy yet, because they're simply buried too deep in hard rock earth. And the only way to track all these missiles down is to track and map the tunnel network. That's why you've got to go in on the ground to dismantle and destroy it. The problem is, last time, as Cedric was saying, last time the missiles were launched by Iran, it was just from Iran to Israel. None of the Hezbollah ballistic missiles were also included. They're much closer. There's less warning. There's less time to get all of those aerial defenses coordinated to respond and knock those missiles out of the sky. And the Iranian missiles that Hezbollah has stationed north of Israel, they can reach every major populated Israeli area in a matter of minutes. Whereas, the last time in the spring when Iran attacked, it was aiming at things like military bases, government buildings. This time it might go for populated areas. And that is when you get into the escalation spiral.
Yeah, absolutely. To both of you, I very much appreciate your time. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, folks. We will be